Darkle.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Darkle.
It's your turn in initiative, my friend.
That's crazy. Let me open everything ever.
No, we haven't even started. You're good. How's your day going, Darkle?
1 second.
Okay.
Fuck me, I guess.
Bad question. Shouldn't have asked it.
Yeah, you're right.
Based on your map, you know you're a little over an hour from the plains. The events of the day have left your party in high spirits, but still taking a toll physically. The waterfall cave had a lot in store for your party. The potion of shared thoughts, showing Soba visions of someone who was once in the cave. The fight with the wargs, as well as the vines, and finally, the mad dash out of the cave, placing you on the other side of the river. Azadan, after a relatively quiet morning walk, since afterwards you had about an hour of no meaningful encounter to sort of collect yourselves, how is Azadan feeling about the Hollow, now that you guys have been in here for a week?
Well, I think aside from feeling like physically exhausted from the extra amount of exertion, they just think it's as weird as like every other thing they've seen since they're before coming, like before the journey here. They didn't do much of anything. It's strange, but it's not stranger than like most other things in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I think the time being weird is probably the strangest thing in here.
As you were sort of thinking about that, you notice an all too familiar sight at this point. What's been recorded as time dilation in the journal a couple times, you see happen around you. Except it's a bit strange. The sun jumps from the bright rays of midday to the gentle light of early morning. A disorienting change of time, as if a record skipped backwards or forwards. It's difficult to tell. And the rest of the party would definitely also notice this change as well.
I think I'm gonna keep that in mind, specifically like the early turning into early morning, but I don't think they have the tools to do any research about it right now.
Soba pauses in his hustle, looks up at the sky, and just mentally thinks, good, we can travel even longer now.
Cortex will rub his eyes, just thinking that his eyes are still adjusting from being in the cave for so long.
That's fair.
We had around for a while.
Speaking of which, at this point, the 8 hours of travel time that you would normally have is down to 2.
Down to 2?
You're like 8 hours of adventuring time after taking a break.
We haven't really rested, like a long rested, alright?
Yeah.
For a little bit, yeah.
Not since before the cave, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Which, I mean, you can still travel and do more encounters up until that 8 hours, but going past that will be there are downsides. So
we probably shouldn't do anything too committal.
Let's travel another hour before we stop for lunch.
I will also say, and I measured this out earlier, assuming you guys are traveling at the 2 miles per encounter, you guys have about 4 encounters left until you get to your goal. the old pulley.
Let's get one of them out of the way right now then.
Agreed.
Cool. Then with that, let me do our first roll. Let me zoom in the.
Before we do
Uh-huh.
this, can I get a read off from everybody? Can I get current hit points and stamina points? Starting with Darkle. Azadan.
Full
Hit
HP,
points.
full HP and stam.
How much resolve do you have?
3 out of 4.
Okay. Thinness.
Same. Full 3 out of 4.
All right. Ortix.
12 out of 16 HP, max stam, 2 out of 4 resolve.
Okay, I'm at 15 out of 22, max stamina, 1 resolve.
So after this, we probably rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing on spells?
I have both of my first level, it looks like.
Okay.
And I don't think I used my wand yet.
Nope, I don't think you
We
did.
just got that wand, I think.
If we did
No,
just
I
get
had I had one. Oh, yeah, when do we get to buy shit?
Next daily prep. Next daily prep.
Yeah.
Okay.
one.
which will
Someone
be-
remind me, I'm buying another healing wand next time.
What's the wand is a healing wand?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the wand of healing.
That's the one that you guys got back in the goblin mines.
All right. Take us away.
Cool. Then with that, you guys travel 2 miles in the next hour, winding up at.
I mean, we're going there. We probably don't want to be next to the
Imagine-
cliff.
Something like this-ish.
Yeah.
We don't have to be too far
Yeah.
from the cliff. We just don't want to fall.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want to be
probably-
hugging it.
The cliff
Yeah.
would be in eyesight, but
Yeah,
like,
that's
we're
fine.
not
I'll still move you along the cliff since this to here is like 5
Yeah.
miles, so you could still be like reasonably like a decent distance out, like half a mile out from the cliff. So I'll still keep you around here. Bump. Get you right up to the edge of the forest. Let me roll on the table. A 3. Let me get stuff started. You guys can speak amongst yourselves.
Hey Soba,
Yes, Thinness.
what do you do to work out? What do you do to exercise?
If it's a really good day, you just have to make sure that you engage in a physical tussle with somebody that is notably larger than you. Something that, he looks around the entire party, any of us could probably do for you. But other than that, about
As it ends, just like staring to the side and noticeably scrawnier than those, probably.
yeah, but
This absolutely turns to look at you specifically as a
No, they're looking away. They are not part of this conversation.
other than that, it's all about just moving your body until it hurts, and then you'll find that you can do that more and more every day. I go to bed every night hurting.
So, that's not right. Okay.
Oh, and your caloric intake on your protein. So I hope you like eggs.
I do.
That's perfect. I don't have any on me, but we can forage for some later.
I'm sure there are plenty of animals around here that will lay eggs that we can eat.
I usually find waking up and doing about 100 push-ups and mentalizing combat with Ortix is a good start to my day.
Mentalizing?
It's called image training. And he starts explaining image training from Dragon Ball at you.
yeah,
will
I'm
not-
Dragon Ball.
Yes, the ancient stories of Soba's people and their golden hair.
Ortix nods in understanding as he's also familiar with the concept of
The concept of Dragon Ball?
the concept of image training specifically from Dragon Ball. Dragon
Okay.
Ball, you have to understand from where Ortix is from. Dragon Ball is
Yeah,
like ancient
I get
folklore.
it. Yeah, I know. Our tickets from Mexico. We established that one before.
As you guys are having this conversation,
I can say that, by the way. Vegeta's really big in Puerto Rico.
I know. I just think it's funny that, like, Ortix is from fictional Japan, Dragon Ball Dragon Ball would be biggest in Mexico as an ancient folklore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, this is important conversation. As you guys are having this conversation, quite boisterously, you hear a tussle in front of you, and it is not of people.
Ah. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Those are boars.
We're in their habitat.
Yes, fair enough.
Walking into a zoo and saying, "Why are there cows here?" Like maybe they
I
like
didn't say-
cows.
I didn't say why are there boars. I just said there are boars.
There we go.
Oh, I heard why are there boys here.
Imagine walking in.
Aside from being confrontational.
As you guys are talking amongst yourselves, you notice that the trees are starting to fade out. There's less and less of them as you are walking. On top of that, you notice you can't see it here on this board in particular, but as you guys have been walking, there's been several trees that have been definitely cut down, definitely man-made, sawing down trees and probably taking the wood somewhere, because you do not see the logs there's just stumps. But ahead of you hear two boars fighting with each other. But as your sort of boisterous group approaches, their battle among each other is broken up.
My bad.
And they look towards you, the intruders. What would you like to do? We are not in initiative yet.
I lean over towards Soba and I'm like, do you think they're image training with us now?
There's only one way to find out. Image train back at them. This next encounter is entirely in the party's minds.
We're locked in mental combat as Ortix and Soba stare back at both boys.
Would you like to try intimidating them?
Yes.
As you stare.
No. I have 0 to charisma.
I like to think that Ortix is looking more quizzitively at them, doing the image training, and Soba is glaring them down.
As much as I would like to use my charisma in this, I don't think I would be image training.
Oh, you do actually have intimidating glare.
Dennis is absolutely doing that motion with their finger. So should I also do it?
Yeah, if you want to.
I do.
Soba was definitely having a good time explaining this all, and then he just locks in. He's still having a good time, but
I was out of character. I was just planning on throwing a piece of rations to them and seeing if that made it worse or better. But I guess we're doing this now. I feel like that's gone out the window.
We're image training now.
Well, rather than backing off, the two of them see this as a threat to their territory as we enter initiative.
Oh, that was fast.
I figured.
That was rather quick.
Can everybody do me a favor and roll for initiative?
I think the boars are going before us, guys.
Yeah.
I'm dead ass last. I'm still in the tree.
Why?
Don't worry
Wait.
about me, guys.
Did I roll
I'll have this
twice?
fight solved. I'll
did
have
roll
this fight solved by the time they get to us.
Yeah.
Don't even sweat it, guys.
Looking at Soba, who was trying to intimidate them, they are going to charge at you as they put their tusks down towards the ground and start barreling towards you. Let me roll their attack. That was a 16. Back.
Bounces off his chest.
Oh yeah? Multiple attack penalty. Yes! And that is the end of its turn. Thinis.
I'm going to use image training to attack with my sword cane.
This is the bit of the day. I'm so happy.
That's my devise a stratagem, aka image training, and then.
Oh my god.
Can we rename it?
I love this new flavor. I love this new flavor for devise a stratagem.
It's so good.
13 in the
This
back
also-
pocket is pretty good.
I know, right? This this also includes a recall knowledge check. So I'd like to recall knowledge about a weakness concerning like an elemental weakness. And then don't forget to do dubious knowledge if necessary.
Okay. You don't think that there are any immunity weaknesses or resistances that they have to anything. You think about it for a second and you go, "Oh, yeah, that's a boar."
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk up
I pull up.
and now attack with my image training. I follow the footsteps I saw in my mind.
Huge. Woo! 22. Sheesh. Roll damage. That is a hit.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey,
First blood of the
And
fight.
That's my actions.
Soba, what would you like to do? You just got ran up on.
Oh, you know. First things first. He's gonna use the power of getting in the mood for the fight. Now that I have a damage dice, that's a D10. Yeah. He's gonna clasp both his hands together, raise him up, and slam him down on that boar.
Oh my
26
god! Yeah, with a 26, you're gonna pet that boar.
does it crit?
No, it does not crit.
Hey.
Oh, interesting. Why is it a D12 now instead of a D10? I have toggles for Animal Instinct, which makes my D10 turn into a D12, because that just upgrades the damage die. And I think my martial dedication I got at this level upgraded my damage die.
Oh, that could be it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Those are some big fucking punches.
I knew that was gonna just be the case next level, but I guess whatever changes happened made it this level. Anyway, here's a D12 plus 6.
Sheesh.
You fucking pet the boar.
I'll
Oh,
do it again too.
20
Wow.
will hit.
God, I hope so.
10 damage.
10.
Just a nice, crisp 25
Goodbye.
damage.
You see
Start
it.
off.
You see it stagger, but
Oh my god.
you see
yeah.
it hold on to its
That sturdy
life.
didn't. That sturdy did endure the hit.
That sturdy did endure the hit. What do you like to do?
That's the end of my turn, but he's pleased to see that it still has the will to fight. Something he hopes to attain one day.
Azadan, what would you like to do?
I want to cook that boar. I would not like to cook that boar.
You would like to, however.
Yeah. Also, I know it's a little late, but I did forget to do this at the start of the round.
Oh, that was on Ortix, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
but
Bump.
oh, thank you.
Ortix hasn't been hit yet, so it hasn't really mattered.
Yeah. And that's the end of my. Actually, I'll and then I'll end.
It is now the other boar's turn. And seeing its boyfriend get punched, it is going to go for the other person who is taunting as it tries to drive by Thinis. Let me give you off guard for this hit, as you are flanked.
Yep.
It's a 31 hit.
Okay.
Does that crit?
Uh,
Oh, that does crit, yeah. Let me roll damage.
Ouch.
Ouch. After goring you with its tusks, probably getting up sort of behind you as you're trying to swing at the other boar, it rams its tusks into you and then curves around to go wide and come back in again. But that is going to be the end of its turn. Ortix, what would you like to do?
I'll stance up.
I pull up.
I go into fighting mode. I'm gonna run at this guy. I'm running 2 strides, and then I'm gonna try to trip it.
Nice.
21, and trip is against
It's
reflex DC. That is going to be a success.
Goodbye.
Plump.
On the floor with you. That's my turn.
Sweeping the boar off its feet. Oh, it says that this is dead in the turn order, but it's not. It's still alive. At the top of the second round, the boar is going to continue attacking Soba as it just sort of wildly flails at you. 24 is going to hit.
I sure hope so.
Take 11.
Light work.
It barely gets through my armor.
And 18 is also a hit. Like 12. Oh, as it manages to sort of bludgeon you, but you're able to fend off the blows enough that you don't take any actual damage to your health. No bleeding yet. Speaking of bleeding, Thinnis.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
I'm going to run over here.
Okay.
Goodbye. And then I'm gonna use a healing potion. And then I'm going to shoot my gun.
Alright, let me see that roll. A 16 is going to go just wide of the boar.
Okay, well now we know. Put it in the journal.
Got it. That's my turn.
Probably 17.
Soba, what would you like to do?
You broke through my defense. Well fought, pig. But you will be our dinner tonight. With teeth bore. Oh my god!
Oh,
Goodbye.
yeah, no, I.
Anyway, that's a fang attack, by the way. His jaws unhinged, he grabs the boar, and he fucking kills it. Oh my god.
Well,
I guess I'll cook the other one.
as you
Out
bite,
loud in-game, by the way.
where are you biting down into it?
He just reaches down, grabs like its left or its right tusk with his right arm, turns its head, and then leans down, bites it right in the throat, and then just like rips a chunk out.
While bleeding tremendously now, it gets wounded
up?
too
It's no fucking.
as it uses its reaction to stay up.
Holy shit.
Can you just smack it on the ground?
Do you have actions left? What would you like to do?
So you
He
see,
reaches in with his free hand in
Okay,
the
so-
open wound and pulls out whatever he needs to pull out to kill it.
okay, so, like, when you're
Heart in hand, boar in other hand.
You reach in and you feel a snap as you reach your hand into the hole you just made, and the boar goes limp.
So you see, when you're gonna cook a chicken, you grab both hands on the neck and you just spin a little, and then it's dead. And that's what you should do to this guy.
These creatures are incredible. I must learn this power. You! And he points at the other boar, dropping both the boar and whatever he pulled out, and starts his movement at it.
The giblets.
Although he cannot move nearly as fast as his friend Ortex, so he
Nah.
only gets here.
Yeah.
Surprised you had action gloves.
I
2
I did
attacks,
it and I
baby.
punched it. Yeah, like
Azadan, what would you like to do?
Does Sebs, do you think you want like the stamina back, or are you good?
I'm confident. I'm chilling.
Okay. Joint movement. Gonna try to cook that boar.
Woo!
Cook that board. It's got lowered AC.
That's true.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
flat-footed.
Oh,
On the fucking
not good
ground.
enough anyway.
Oh. Man, a 4 sucks.
Yeah, that's the end. That's my actions.
Unfortunate. It is now the boar's turn. And it's going to use its first action to stand up.
Whoa.
And it is then going to start flailing wildly at Ortix, not having the time to back up and get a full run in.
With
Whiff.
it.
Hit. Damage.
Ouchie.
Oh, narrowly avoiding its blow, and it does take quite a bit out of you to sort of avoid that.
He stops its tusks with his hands, but not without consequence.
Yeah.
Now
Dang
it's
it.
his turn. As he swiftly moves back into stance and starts punching it.
Yeah. 18 hit.
We're gonna try it. I'm going to trip it, and I'm going to use assurance to see if a 20 is a success to trip it against its reflex save.
I remove that. A 20 is enough as you trip it, and it hits the ground again.
Bonk.
You idiot.
Huh. That's my turn.
Boar is fucking dead. Thinnis, what would you like to do?
what is the range of gun anyway?
30.
I like a slingshot, really.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate distance right now.
It's a little
Really?
it's a little coat pistol. You can fire outside of that range, you just take a penalty.
Yeah.
You take a -2 for every range increment. So if you shot at 60 feet, it would be a -2 to it.
You got
You
it.
don't
So on and so
devise
forth.
A stratagem. Devise a stratagem would go around that, wouldn't it?
No, because you still add penalties and bonuses.
Ah,
It's not like assurance.
okay.
I will devise a stratagem though. And oh, actually I can't do that. I need to reload my gun. I'm gonna reload and then just fire with -2.
It's okay. It's balanced out by it being off guard.
To 19 swish.
Nice.
Good roll. Roll damage.
Max damage.
Max damage roll. Let's go.
Dubski, that's my turn.
Huge.
It's Boba.
Soba.
Soba is gonna kind of slink his way around, and he's just gonna grab it.
Oh.
Understandable.
Grab while it's prone.
Submission hold.
Ooh, I think even with its minuses, that's probably not enough.
That would be against its fortitude.
Would be against its fortitude, and that would not succeed.
I'm gonna try it again. Oh,
Ooh.
all right,
Hey.
that's the end of my turn.
I hate to see you thriving.
After the rolls I was having earlier, it was bound to happen.
That's okay. We bounce back.
Azadin, what would you like to do?
Oh, Glaciel's getting in.
He's going to try to kick the shit out of it. That's one movement. How many actions do I get after movement? Is it just like 2? Or-
It's what, your joint and then 3, isn't it? Or is that not?
Yeah, you effectively get 4 actions total. So move was 1 action. So
Okay. Let me evaluate for a second. Okay, yeah, I can do this. I can. Ooh, not actually.
ooh, well, nothing bad happens on a critical fumble. So
Are you sure?
yes,
Not,
Yep.
not on a regular strike.
Mm, well,
Not yet, at least.
ignition. Ooh!
That's gotta hit. That's gotta
20,
hit.
25 will hit.
But does it crit with off guard?
No, not
Damn.
quite.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
AC 17, I think.
Well, if it was, then this would have crit with off guard. So it's 18.
4 damage.
Finally getting a little bit of fire on the board.
After 2 whiffs, your fire strikes true.
A little bit true.
A little true. A little white lie, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it, I believe.
It is
Yeah.
now the boar's turn. Feeling surrounded and afraid, it looks for an out as it gets up. And in its rage, it sees its fated rival just a little bit
No.
away
No!
as it charges.
I was scared this would happen.
Give me 2 levels, come on. I would have stand still.
I was ready if Soba
Yeah.
successfully grabbed to give Soba a hero point to stop this from happening.
If only I'd made Glacio go around.
It's true. It could have also given
I
it to
had
you.
the movement.
Boom. Let me roll circumstance.
A dark shadow continues to loom.
How much move? You only have 25 movement, right?
That's 25. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, that's true. Wait, that is
No.
Oh,
that is 30.
I did double
You-
diagonals.
Ooh.
No!
Ooh.
I did do double diagonals.
I mean, that still definitely gets you closer. As it gets just out of your reach, Soba, and strikes at Thinnis. Make sure I got all my modifiers here. Bonk!
Oh god.
That hits.
Damage. 9 damage. Ooh, good thing you drank that potion, right?
I know.
I really wish I would have done that thing now.
I'm chilling.
And that is all of its actions. Ortix, what would you like to do?
Where do you fucking think you're going? Your fight is with me!
Oh. That is off.
I forgot the
Flank?
first flurry.
Well, that's fine.
One
The first one definitely hits. Roll damage on that bad boy. 10! Oof!
I'm about to trip this MF again.
Now
One
you
more.
know. That's the assurance.
Yeah.
Sweep the legs. You've done it once. You can do it again. Tried and true.
I did it the first time normally. I already know the technique. This boar is my fucking bitch.
Back to the top of the turn order, Thinnis.
Time to image train once more.
We are so back.
Oh, 5 in the
Image
back
train didn't go
pocket.
well. I foresaw myself losing the fight.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
In that case, I'm gonna use my other healing potion,
Nice. Big healing.
and I'm gonna drop my sword cane on the ground, and then punch the board.
Alright.
Okay.
I could
He's
have
learning!
I
He's
could have thought of a
learning!
few different plans, but I guess we can go full Gabunga party.
He's learning! He's trying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's trying his best.
You throw your first punch ever, it's not gonna go well. Like,
Yeah.
This is an okay punch.
Still being shaken up about being gored twice by this boar. You happen to miss. Soba, what would you like to do?
Soba zips to the side, gives Thinnis a thumbs up for the punch, and then he starter stances himself, like the stance that they have you get in when you're learning karate and stuff, and looks at Thinnis while he's doing it, yeah, you just gotta position yourself right, and then he punches the boar while pointing at Thinnis.
I hope you miss.
Me too.
Oh my god.
I'll pop a healing. I'll pop a heal. Yeah, thank God.
It's because he wasn't looking at the boar. He just punches right over it while he was looking at Thinnis. Still, he's like, "Oh shit, that's right." He's not cool at me. And then with his left hand, Punches the
That
boar.
is going to hit. Give me damage.
We got a hit.
I was about to say that I don't care if Demis gets hit again. I'll heal them. This is worth it.
And an 8
Boar is durable.
is enough to stagger it as it barely hangs on.
It did endure the hit.
A sturdy did endure the hit. Azadan. Yep, that was Soba Azadan. What would you like to do?
I don't know how to do the thing. Like, I have enough movement for this, right?
You have
What?
25?
Oh yeah, you can. You just press space
I see.
while
After
you
draw the
have the
line,
ruler
you
out.
press space.
I was trying using control because of a different thing that I have that's similar controls.
Ah.
And then,
Kick that on the...
Right,
Oh,
tandem-
joint movement.
Tandem
Yeah.
movement.
I'll try.
Kick, that is a hit. And that, with a stomp of their foot, the boar goes down.
Yippee.
Congratulations. Your first encounter of today's session, the first session in a little bit, is successful.
Yippee.
And now we're all using our bare hands for combat. Or feet. And
No. Well, I did what I had to do.
Ortex will give Thinis a thumbs up. Well learned.
It all comes from here, and I point to my noggin.
image training.
I bow to my sensei, Soba.
He bows back.
Stupid.
Anyway,
I love it.
anybody know how to prepare one of these?
As it ends, like, picking up sticks to make a campfire.
Alright. Here, on the edge of the plains and forest, you make your camp. Let's get into to camping status as we relax. So first, taking a rest here.
Yeah.
Long rest.
Cool.
We're cooking these boars.
Long rest. 8
Chicken rations.
hours.
Is it like a survival check to like skin these boars and whatnot, get their parts and for rations?
Yep. Or if you have cooking lore, you can use that. But I'm not
Oh, I
sure if
don't
that's
have
applicable
that.
to anybody.
Well, I don't have that, but I have
Oh, that works.
survival.
I'm an expert in survival. I can also cook one.
Oh, sheesh. Give me...
Whichever the higher roll is, it's the one that's not
Not that one.
not bitten off like a massive chunk.
So what do we get from this? We get a part that we can use to cook or something like that.
Yeah, so I will give you I will say these are two, pretty big boars. And with at least that first survival check, we'll give everybody a ration, essentially. Or effectively you guys won't have to use a ration tonight to sleep because
Yeah.
You're eating the boar.
Yeah.
So you get that, and I will also give one basic ingredient as you are able to put that away. The other boar, Thinis, unfortunately, you botched it. As you go over your notes for how to prepare the boar, you happen to accidentally cut its intestines early, and the whole everything is spoiled.
I point behind me towards the boar. Poopy boar.
No.
It wouldn't be in here. Does anybody already have a basic ingredient?
Am I?
I think
I had a-
somebody
I thought we had one
somebody
before.
should have one.
I had a fish.
Oh, yeah,
before,
you
but I
do.
think I put. Okay.
Yeah, you have a you can just click the basic ingredient up by one. Yeah, the basic ingredient I'm giving you extra, and you can use it for cooking, which can give special buffs and stuff. But for a lot of them, you need special ingredients as well. So, cool. With that out of the way, feel free to bump up your resolve, your current HP, and your stamina to max. Over the 8 hours you guys take to rest, you are able to tend to Thinis's wounds enough to get him up and ready to move again.
Yeah, I cast healing from the wand or from my spells.
With that, you guys are able to anything like that. Any spells that you have used so far or wands, you get those back. And let's also look at buying, selling. Anything you guys want to do with your stash?
Healing wand. I would like a second, please. You mentioned I could probably only afford the level 1 run, right?
Let's check what you guys have for your stash. So you have 122 gold in your stash. You have a good amount of money. It would be 60 gold.
For a level 1 wand?
Yes, for a level 1 wand. So half of your current wealth for a second heal in the back pocket.
Does anybody object to me buying this?
No.
Because, it'd be nice to have the extra heal, I guess. Just in case. We could probably just look to stock up on potions.
Yeah.
Probably healing, and then I can't think of any utility ones we might need.
I'd like to replace my 2 healing potions.
Anything else that you guys would want to buy?
Not right now.
I just need the potions.
Cool. That being said, we can
Onward.
go onward. It is a new afternoon, as you have to get used to this, the timey-wimey stuff, as you take your 8 hours of rest and head out midday yet again. Start by changing.
So there hasn't
music.
been a night cycle yet. Or
We
not in a while, anyway.
So we have gone. We have had a night cycle before, but
Yeah, we just haven't in a couple days now.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
hey, Soba's fine with. He likes laying out in the sun.
How much is there candles in this?
Yeah.
How much is a candle?
Copper.
Let me check.
Dirt cheap.
Candle.
I'd like a-
Consumable equipment. It is 1 CP.
Yeah, can I have a copper or a candle rather?
Oh, it is.
Good.
It is 1 CP for 10 of them.
Can I have 10 candles?
Yes, you can. Okay, with that being said and done, let's put ourselves back on the overworld map. Whomp. You guys enter the plains. Or will soon to be entering the plains. As you all get up and make your final preparations to get walking, let's look at the Fates die. Reset stuff
Before
here.
we completely head out, let me just add 2 more healing potions to the stash.
Oh,
For purposes of just walking around before an encounter, can I if I just use a torch now, can we say I put it away during combat, or is that just an action I'm gonna have to take if it really matters? It's all the hand free. I just don't want to waste a candle.
yeah, that's fine.
The game plan here is I'm going to hold out a candle when we're walking and see if time does its fucky wucky shit, if it goes down fast.
Oh,
And it lasts for 8 hours.
cool. As start walking here, let me get the first roll on this die. What kind of flavor do we have today? A 7.
I think that's a good one.
7 is currently unknown.
Oh, good.
We've encountered a number of things.
Do we have
What
it
is
down in the
7?
journal what a 7 is?
Per soul, they encountered Util. Slate disappeared with a vision of stuff to come, and then their guide was harmed by an ooze creature and a strider.
Awesome. So not good.
It could be. Util was an NPC, and Slate encountered visions of what was to come on the slope. Have we had a 7 before?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
You guys have had 7s.
Yeah, I thought we had a 7 that was just nuts. We didn't do anything on that one.
7s for you previously have been pots. Your encounters with the guy, the skeleton merchant.
That was a 7?
Yes,
Oh,
those are on
that's a different
7s. With that being said,
I think after getting up from bed, as they're sort of walking along, Ortix is stretching out his bones. By bones, I mean his muscles, because that's what you do.
I imagine at this point, the trees have mostly thinned out, and it's mostly a plain. But like every tree that appears, that's when Thinis will kind of remember the exercise advice that Soba gave, and will do like a squat or two before continuing walking on.
I have my exploration set as search, and I'm going to specifically be looking for birds' nests to gather eggs.
Oh. Oh.
Now that we have a new member of the Gaines Club.
And Azadan, you are focusing on that candle as you sort of walk here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I wouldn't really say focus. I'm making sure it doesn't go out, but like lighting it as needed. But like I'm just making sure that it doesn't go down super fast. So however much focus I need to do that, really.
Okay. And other than
whatever
that,
you decide.
And other than that, you are just sort of looking around, I would assume.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking along here, and the tree line breaks into these rolling light green plains, you can see throughout them there's like some pretty large boulders here and there that have been pushed fairly far from the cliffside. So it's, that's like a couple miles out from where the nearest large rock source would be. But you can see these sort of crags occasionally poke out of the ground and interrupt the peaceful, fairly flat rolling plains. In fact, in the distance, you think you might be able to see a speck of what could be the pulley on sort of the cliff side of the hollow. Some sort of wooden structure built up that stands out among the plains. And as you are all walking, Thinis, you... Everything seems normal until you take a step, and then you feel like you sort of trip. And when you collect yourself...
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm big.
You find yourself in a strange white void. Everywhere you look around you is this constant shade of white. You look under you and you don't see a shadow, and it is also just this plane of white. It almost feels like you're floating. How do you react seeing this?
Thinis's first instinct is to try to touch the ground to see if I am grounded at all.
You are. You put your hands down and you feel a floor. It feels like a sort of glassy, smooth surface as you run your hand across it.
Okay. He stands fully back up and he kind of yells out, hello? Soba? Ortix? Azadan?
No response. Are you sort of looking around as you do this?
Yeah, I kind of do a full 360.
You start your spin around and you don't see anything until you come back to where you think you started. And now there is a sort of black silhouette. Completely just like the sort of white void around you, it is just one solid sort of color. No sense of shape, except for in the way it sort of moves. And you can tell that there are arms, there are legs. It is humanoid with what seems to be long, flowing hair behind it. Its arms are held close, and it lays at sort of an angle.
Hello?
No response.
Do I recognize the figure by the hair or anything?
Not recognizable from what you from anything you know, for any silhouettes that you would know sort of off the top of your head. What would have been the thing Thinis was thinking about when he got transported here as you were sort of walking?
Probably thinking about the boar encounter from last night. Kind of got scary for him. Kind of thinking about like what to do better next time. Ways to improve.
As you're thinking about this, the shape in front of you transforms. You see it sort of sink down into the floor like a puddle as it spreads across part of the floor, and then up from the floor you see 4 bipedal lizard-like creatures. A couple of them with sort of martial weapons, swords. You think you can make out a crossbow on one of their backs. And the 4th wielding a staff. One of the creatures that is holding martial weapons has a cape on its back, and that figure gets closer and closer to you as it doesn't seem like it's walking towards you, rather you are being brought closer to the scene.
Dennis grips his cane a little bit tighter, and kind of prepares himself to cast shield with his spell crystal, the Aeon Stone.
Just as the vision gets right next to you, in the sort of blink of an eye as you stand there at the ready, it transforms back into that long-haired figure as you see and feel its face right in front of you. As it feels like it's staring into you.
Does Thinis recognize the face, or is it just a feeling of one?
It is the feeling of one. It is still that sort of inky black void.
How close are they?
They are like right in front, like maybe a foot away. Like without maybe being startled and like backing up a second upon seeing it. You may have just thought that like your vision went black.
I think Thinis would tentatively take a step, like a small step forward, and kind of reach out his left hand over to like where the shoulder would be.
And as you get close, you hear a voice in your head. And rather than being able to hear like a cadence or a tone to it, it's more like words are being printed directly into your brain. Rather than hearing it, you feel the words. I've noticed you. And then you're back.
Hi, Seb.
Oh, they're back.
In front of you, Soba, Ortix, and Azadan, you see Thinis reappear.
Reappear.
Let's talk for a moment about what you all may have been doing while Thinis was gone. It was only briefly. What may have felt like a couple minutes for Thinis was probably only maybe a minute for the party. That as you are looking around, I'll say Soba, you probably notice it as you're sort of attentively searching around. And you see one moment Thinis is there, and then the next they are gone.
Thinis? Guys, where's Thinis?
Looking away from the path ahead, Ortix will do a quick 360 to look around and go, I don't know. He didn't go ahead of me. Did he fall behind?
No, he was right here. And he gets to where Thinis was and kind of like reaches out to like grab the empty space.
Can I try an Arcana check in the spot or something like that?
Yeah, give me a recall knowledge with sort of any magic trait you would like.
Right.
Blind GM roll. When you click the die, it should be a drop-down option. Also, the Foogies are broken on stream.
Oh, strange.
Probably from shifting call. If I had to
Probably.
guess.
There we go. You don't sense anything, or you don't with some investigation. You don't feel anything like lingering.
This is a good time to mention I have dubious knowledge.
You don't feel anything lingering, but you have heard of reports of this, of people suddenly like spontaneously going missing. It's certainly something rare, and not something that you heard of like up in town, but just as sort of as you'd venture, like a folktale.
I see.
And the credibility of said folktales and sort of what and why and how are unreliable, to say the least. You've heard reports of it being like some god, like as a way of smiting or calling upon somebody, simply scooping them up and taking them somewhere else for a small while. You've heard of it being more of an arcane thing, as somebody is teleported through the means of flicker step or things of that sort. But it's hard to pin exactly what this might have been.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can hear anything?
Yeah,
Since I
go for it.
can't see anything. Blind GM.
You notice something strange, Ortix. As you're looking around where Soba mentioned Thinis was, you notice there's no footprints over where Thinis would have been. It's like Thinis was removed from the hollow. Like even these sort of idea of him having like stepped around here is gone.
No footsteps from where he even came from?
No. Shortly after, as you make this realization though, looking upon that trail, you blink and those footsteps are there. And behind you, you hear Thinis.
Ortix will sort of stand up on end as he scratches his head, blinking his eyes repeatedly, trying to see if he was seeing things.
As you sort of stumble back into here, sort of standing, reaching your arm out, Thinis, you see the hollow yet again.
He takes a second to like reacclimate and then look around for the group again. Hi? Hello?
Question.
What's up?
The footsteps I was looking at, like, is Thinis at the end of that trail or is he somewhere else?
He is at the end of the trail. Yes.
Of footsteps?
Yes.
Okay. So he just like appears in front of me?
Yep, pretty much. And Soba, right where you were sort of looking as well, see Thinis in front of you.
Ortix sort of jumps back and almost gets ready to fight whatever appeared in front of him and relaxes a bit as he sees Thinnes.
Well, welcome back. Have a nice trip.
Where?
I don't really know. I have no clue. It was really bright. And apparently whatever it was, it noticed me, and that makes me feel uncomfortable.
What do you mean it noticed you?
It reached into my noggin and it said it's noticed me.
Okay.
Did I find any eggs during my searching this 2 hours? I'd like to offer one of this.
I'll say, yeah, you've found an egg. Actually, you know what? Roll me a perception check real quick.
An insane thing to ask.
Yeah, you found a couple eggs.
So we just kind of like nods, seeing that his friend is concerned, and gently offers him an egg.
You did not, man. Offering you an egg in this trying time, the fucking disappearing.
I raise an eyebrow very slowly. I'm like, you want me to eat it raw?
You could. You can eat it however you want.
That man's will light a fire on their fingertip and offer to boil it.
Huh.
You said he found a couple.
Yeah, I'll say like
Okay.
2 or 3 as you sort of
So
search.
Soba will snake eat the second one, as in like just
Ah.
swallow the whole fucking egg.
I see.
I look up and I'm like, I can't really do that. I'm also like extremely not hungry from the mind demons that just got me. So I appreciate. I'll hold on to it.
Mind
Okay.
demons.
Yeah.
Is that what
Well-
made? Oh. Ortix is like rubbing his head, just sort of mumbling to himself about seeing footsteps disappear and reappear, and just sort of having a headache as he tries to think about what happened in the situation and giving up.
It was some sort of. It was like a body made of ink. Like they weren't anything. They didn't tell me anything except for the words they've noticed me. So, scary.
Evident will put their hands on Thermos' shoulder. Congratulations on being noticed by a god. I can run you through the steps on how to properly worship them if you really need me to. I'm very. I'll say no to Glacial. She can tell you. I have gotten really good at it. Is that not right?
That might just be helpful if I have someone looking at me.
All right. Well,
Just
I
sort of-
suppose with the disappearing act finished, we continue on.
Ink made things disappear.
Invisible ink.
You guys have some of that.
And this kind of like smacks his head with his hands a couple times. It's like too much image training.
Never again.
And with that, I think we can continue onwards towards the old bully.
Yippee.
Yippee! Let's give y'all another 2 miles. You guys are within reach now of the old pulley.
Surely nothing will appear before us.
Yeah, your next one just barely gets you into the area with it. With that being said, let's give another roll on the table, shall we?
Show me a 7.
I have to grab my laundry, so BRB.
Okay.
No way, dude.
Was it actually a 7?
Oh, whoops! I did that blind. Let me publicize.
Yeah.
Oops. Reveal to everybody. You'll just have to scroll down.
A 5.
As you guys walk, instead of, especially Thinnes, process the events that just took place, it is a relatively quiet walk as you hear the wind blow over the plains of the Hollow.
Incredible.
Oh, so that's what that one was.
And with that, that puts you guys another hour ahead. And oops, I forgot to include the last hour too. So it is now around 4 o'clock. As you guys can see in the distance getting larger, the old pulley. You are about an hour's walk away from it, as it will be your next thing. Are you ready to hop in there? See what's going on?
Yeah.
Yep.
The pulley. You may talk amongst yourselves as I get this ready for you.
So did it look fightable?
It didn't let me touch it.
Do you think I could touch it?
I do not think that you could pet that dog.
It was an ink dog.
Well, it was like people.
Ink dog people.
Yeah.
I've never seen such a thing.
Some sort of lycanthrope god.
They were less dog than I think. I was just using your phrasing.
Oh,
Think people.
pet the people.
I think humans are into that.
You should only pet a human god if you've got enough faith in them.
Noted.
Azadan is not looking at the party. They're like deep in thought, hand to their mouth, trying to think of how to help them.
Hey, Darkle.
Yeah.
Do you and Glacial like share the same mind? Like, if you have an idea, does Glacial just know that as well?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, they can communicate
Yeah, but
silently, but yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a it's like if we had it. Like anything that Azadan doesn't want Glacio to know, she doesn't, and vice versa.
That you guys get closer and closer to the old pulley. As you approach it, you notice that it is certainly run down from the outside. There are broken walls and signs of both some burning and some rot as well. You can see dangling over the edge is a intact platform with tethers holding each of its corners, with a large sort of gears and gear shaft keeping it up, sort of leaning out over. However, it is a little concerning the way that it sways in the wind, and even from a decent distance away, you can hear it creak.
I had a feeling this would be the case.
Feel free to freely investigate.
I'm going to enter stealth.
So I'm just gonna do the same and just follow Finesse.
Vortex will walk in a different direction and try to see if he can hear or see anything.
I think they'll follow, like Azanan and Glacio will follow Ortix somewhat closely.
Cool. You get closer. Ortex, as you look in, you can see that there is like two large rugs in the room. You can see a sort of gearbox system over towards the far wall with two doors. Oh, I fucked up the wall for this part. Is there a good way for me to add doors in post? Draw doors. There we go. Never mind. I fucked it. So I'm just going to remove this back wall. As there are two open ways to get out to the platform itself. The platform extends off the screen a slight distance, and as you are sort of looking here, there are signs of dirt and ash and rubble in front of you. This place looks largely abandoned.
I'd like to activate That's Odd. Do I notice anything out of place or different?
This is such a funny skill. Yeah. As you scan the place, you notice that there is a footprint in the dirt and dust of this carpet. There's a small footprint.
Can I roll like a perception to see if there's something under the rug? Like if I notice that it's like if there's like a draft pushing up on it, or if there's like a trap under it or something like that.
Yeah, go for it. You do not see any.
Okay. I'm gonna come around the corner here and I'm gonna like put my hands on the planks to see if it's hollow underneath.
You can tell with sort of a push, there is some give to them, but it's mostly due to like wear, tear, and possibly at this point a little bit of rot. But there is some sort of foundation under. You would say that most of this building is built like on the cliffside, like on the cliffside proper, not hanging over it.
Got it. Is that footprint that was on the rug? Would I be able to know like if that's pretty fresh?
You could look into it farther, or somebody else could with sort of a survival check would be for footprints and tracking and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I can roll survival.
Since some of the stuff you're doing takes time, with as you're sort of searching and doing some looking, would anybody else want to investigate it and roll that survival? Just out of curiosity. Or are you just letting Thinis, take the lead as head detective and investigate?
I'm letting him take the lead, but I'm still maintaining the searching that I'm doing with the perception check that I rolled. Unless I need to roll a new one, which I can also do.
I would say you could probably roll a new one by now. Yeah. I'm just needing to know how far I'm passing time forward.
Because I would like to make sure that nothing that's going to threaten us as we try to figure out how to get this creaky pulley down. Which I think the pulley will be the biggest menace to us currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Soba go around flicking his tongue, trying to detect any signs of nearby life, kind of doing the perimeter of the building.
Cool. Thinis, do you get any closer to that track?
I would go like here.
Okay. And you're trying to see how fresh it is?
Yeah.
Fairly. Like, certainly within the day. And looking across, like, the rest of the carpet and some other parts of the room. And Ortix, you would definitely see this too. There are certainly a couple of these footprints. As they seem to be pacing up to the gearbox. And it looks like most recently, with some recently broken glass and fairly fresh looking footprints, somebody recently exited out this top way.
I'm gonna peek around this corner over here, see if I can't find anybody.
Yeah.
No.
As you peek around this corner, there is a figure walking back. They're a decent ways in the distance. I would say maybe like 80 feet off the map. And they are a small figure. You can tell that they have sort of dull gray hair as they are walking back with a pile of something in their hands.
Well, I don't want to scare them. So maybe I can wave to them. Present myself as unassuming and not hostile. Just sort of friendly wave over in the distance.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make an impression here. You can use.
I was hoping to not hear that.
You can use diplomacy, and I will give you sort of benefit of the doubt here, quote unquote, as you try to make yourself not look menacing. It won't have major repercussions if you fail or something like that.
This is public, right?
Yes, this is public.
I was gonna ask if there's a way for me to help with my diplomacy, but
I mean, you could do your own check as you sort of come up behind Ortix, as you see him waving somebody down. And
I'd like
at this
to try
point,
to
probably also see the figure.
yeah,
What do you do? Are you also
I'm
just
also
waving?
just waving.
You see Ortix start to wave, and the figure flinches, and something that they're holding like falls out of their hand. Like the pile of stuff that they have, like some of it drops to the ground. And then up behind you see Azadan starts waving, and something about them is a lot more welcoming. Maybe it's the bulging muscles of Ortix that turns them off. But you see the figure bend down the little ways that they have to reach the ground again and pick up what they dropped as they start to make their way closer. Let me drag them on to the screen. Tiny. They are...
Oh my god, Twitter exists in this universe. But not X.
Not X.
Good timeline.
Do you guys make this known to like Thinis and Soba, who are sneaking around?
Yeah, I'll call out to them. The holy resident is returning to their home.
I will reluctantly exit stealth.
They get closer, and you see as they get closer, they have a bundle of like wood, like branches, that they might have gotten from some nearby, maybe not trees, but like brush and other stuff that they found. It's certainly scrapped together pieces and bits. They have a hold on. A satchel at their waist full of tools and implements with what look to be strange charms hanging off of them. And you see that their skin shares that same dull gray, sort of muted colors, and their eyes as well are that same dull gray. They stand at like a whopping like 2 feet and some change as they approach, and they say, hello, are you all Delvers?
Yes,
Yeah.
we come seeking the depths.
To go lower, of course. Okay, well, that's also what I'm trying to do, so I suppose we can work together.
Our goals align. I see no qualms.
They breathe a large sort of sigh of relief.
As it is gonna walk closer as Soba's walking up, like I understand. They'll signal to Ortix. We have some stranger looking party members, and then Zova exits the building. and Azadan will put their hand or like their arm around their shoulder, but I promise they don't bite.
They give a gulp as they see the towering Soba sort of exit the house, exit the pulley. Oh, yes, of course.
I understand where that might be confusing, but I promise you'll be fine.
I would like to do a warfare check.
What?
Why?
I'm trying to determine how this individual plans on surviving in the depths. I.e., I'm trying to class them.
Okay.
What are they?
Yeah, give me it.
What kind of check is that?
I imagine warfare. I don't
Yeah, you can
It's
give me
the.
the.
It's a lore. It's a lore skill I have.
skill.
Yeah, you can give me the lore check. This is a really good use of this, actually.
Yeah, sweet, awesome.
I don't have any lore skills. I'll call to roll.
I feel oh.
yeah. So nat
Nice.
20, you've in your travels, since you are a well-traveled fighter, you recognize the implements that they sort of carry around them, the strange sort of tools. You notice that they aren't like, it's not like a tool belt like wrenches and stuff like that, but like dowsing implements and other strange assorted charms. And you recognize them as a thaumaturge who use inklings of magic more so in tools than casting to get around their opponent's weaknesses or strengths and weaknesses and exploit them.
I'm trying to think of what Sobo would refer to them as.
Trickster.
A master of the elements is delving with us then.
I suppose you could call me that. Maybe I would not personally, but the name is Aranern. And I will post
What?
Aranern.
I'm sorry, did you say your name is Aaron?
Aranern, and I'll post it. Posted as unknown NPC. I copied
New
this.
actor 70.
Oh my God.
I copied this from the fuck.
New actor 70 emoji.
Although that stop censoring it. But yeah,
Oh.
Aranern.
Mariner.
Aranern. Yeah. This is another community-made NPC, actually.
I figured.
Oh.
Any guesses? Anybody want to throw out any guesses of who it was?
I have 2 guesses.
I'd like to hear them.
Is it
I'm gonna
Bulby or
guess-
Kyrie?
It is not
Huh?
Kyrie.
Is it Bulby?
No.
Okay, my guesses are out.
Mud Kid.
No?
My kid was Jar Skeleton. wasn't
Well,
it?
they could have.
No, that was
No,
Boats.
that was Dapper. Oh,
That was
I
Boats,
thought it
yeah.
was-
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
This is Shades.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. They collect themselves and walk towards the building. Said, "I'll catch you up on what's happening." Thinis. Okay, yeah. Knowing Gnomish, you would as a language, you would definitely sort of recognize this gnome as they walk by is bleaching. And
As soon as you said no, I knew.
what that means is gnomes can effectively kind of live forever, as long as they are finding enjoyment and sort of emotion in what they're doing, as they are part fae. However, once they start to lose that spark and that enjoyment, they start to bleach, and they're usually vibrantly colored hair and eyes and sometimes skin start to turn into this dull, muted gray as they get closer and closer to what is effectively for them death.
Damn.
Yeah.
But they're here in the hollows, and they walk into the pulley building, sort of carrying their bundle of assorted sticks. So, hearing about this pulley was immediately something that told me to come here. Unfortunately, the group I was initially traveling with ran into some problems, and I would like to try and keep my distance from the rest of you as well, as much as I can, because I worry in some way, shape, or form that I might be cursed at this point. And they sort of throw their hands up in the air after putting the sticks over by the gearbox. However, I will not let that stop me, or in this case also, you all. After some investigation, I think this pulley is definitely repairable. It's in bad shape, but I think we can make it move, and I think we can make it work for us. It doesn't have enough stability or rope to get us, of course, all the way down what might be down there, but it should at least get us below what is presumed to be the height of the cloud barrier. However, the problem that I keep running into, and he kicks some of the sort of dust around as he points at another footprint that you guys didn't notice before, as it was much, much lighter. And you see an almost lizard-like footprint as he grimaces and says, "Kobolds have been making their way over here and trashing this place every chance they get, and unfortunately I do not have the means of keeping them at bay and fixing this at the same time. And in fact, I worry with their numbers and ranks that if I tried to take them on alone, I would more than likely. However, you all look quite capable." And he sort of surveys and looks your group up and down.
Mortix will give him a nod back, sort of standing proud.
Soap is sparkly eyed at the notion of fighting waves of kobolds.
Ortix is all too familiar with kobolds.
I would need, and they sort of put their fingers to their chin and close their eyes for a moment. 2 days. 2 days time. Give or take. I may be able to get it done faster, depending. I mean, I'm sure some extra hands could help speed that up while you guys aren't defending. Possibly going out and getting some materials and stuff could also help. Anything that you guys need to do around here to defend better or whatnot, keep the insides here safe, and we could have this fixed up and be going down.
Well, I certainly can assist with the fighting and the gathering, as my hands are not made for such delicate things as crafting.
Well, that's where I can come in. I can help kind of rebuild some of the walls and make some defenses for us if we have the materials.
I can knock out kobolds.
I'm all too familiar with those dragonkin.
Whoa.
That was a pretty hard D there, Ortex.
They frequently terrorized my village, and I can't say I'm too particularly fond of them.
Then we can get ready to do that sort of immediately then. I got some materials for myself to start here. Hopefully repairing some of the finer gears in this box here, and he sort of slams the big cube. If you guys would like to settle down and you can talk amongst yourselves or with me, I'll be here about how you'd want to go about this.
Quick question.
Yes? And hearing you speak in particular, he sort of shrinks back slightly.
He's gonna step forward so he's within range, and he's gonna flick his tongue a little bit. I'm gonna try to get a scent out of him. But what do you mean by curse earlier?
Ooh.
If there's any particular sense I might pick up, then I'm more than happy to roll.
There wouldn't be any sense.
Is it possible for me to do an arcane check on them to see if they're cursed, or is that not in my realm of possibility?
You could check with arcane or any of the magic ones, as we mentioned before.
I was thinking maybe to smell blood, like if they were bit by a were creature or something.
Oh. Yeah, I mean you can try. And if anything, you might be able to catch some looks.
Soba would not be able to make that connection though, but if he smells blood, then that would be something at the least.
Getting just sort of clocking this guy as an you don't pick up on anything that's magical in a sense, other than from the tools that they carry.
Yeah.
So it's a little baffling. Like there's no sense of an actual like curse or signs that you would be at least somewhat familiar of being sort of who you are. Soba, you don't pick up on anything like scent wise that would be like blood or anything like that, except for maybe a slight bit, but it is of more so of food than anything else, like as they have probably recently eaten. But to that question, Aaron shrinks back and says, let's keep personal matters aside. It's not something I much like to talk about too much. Just bad experiences with previous parties. And you do notice with your perception check as they say that, them glance down quickly at their tool belt.
Well, very well. So long as you're safe, I suppose. And he'll retreat to what he plans for doing the next 2 days, which is sleeping in the very front middle.
Guard dog Soba.
Ortix will probably head out to get bush.
Whoa.
Sorry, I caught myself at a bad time.
Hey, yo.
We had this conversation yesterday. You
I
don't have
don't
to
know if
bring
there'd
it
be
back
any
up.
Tengu down here, but he'll ask Aaron what he needs gathered, and Ortix will go to the best of his ability gather that, and any food he can find while he's there, berries, and maybe even hunt something small.
Dennis and Azadan, what are your sort of plans? And you guys can also talk, amongst each other if there's anything particular you want to do with other people as well.
I don't have any relevant skills.
You do have two bodies though, like two capable bodies.
Yeah, not very dexterous. Daisy was dexterous, but I don't think she'd picked up a tool before. I would rather not make her do anything related to this at school.
I would
Maybe something she wants to do, but Asuna is not telling her to pick up a hammer.
would you be one to go with like Ortix to go gather stuff as well?
Probably,
or
yeah.
Okay. Thinis.
Thinis is going to kind of clean up the doorways a little bit of like kind of some of the rubble and stuff, and kind of get them prepared for making barricades.
Hell yeah. And cool part about that is we're going to talk about some of this stuff and roll some numbers to see sort of what you guys will have on hand as far as like materials and stuff goes. And then when we pick up next time, we will make those changes to the map as far as like adding those barricades or like barricading the doors, cleaning up the place. And then the next session will be dedicated to defending this place and sort of working around as Aaron gets things ready. So let's start then with Azadan and Ortix as you guys go out. There's still plenty of time in the day to start gathering things. With any sort of relevant check that you can make an argument for, what would you like to be gathering and taking back?
Well, I imagine survival for any sort of subsisting would be obvious, which I imagine Ortix would be planning on doing, since they have an extra person who's presumably also been going out to gather their own food. So Ortix would like to help with that. Maybe even an argument for athletics to be carrying back as much stuff as he can, whether that be breaking apart bushes or getting branches off of trees that might exist, that anything like that.
Yeah, I'll have you do 2 rolls for me then. In fact, I'll let you split it over 4, and this is sort of how we'll do this here. Yeah. Each one of these taking up like an hour, like sort of normal encounter time, as you spend 4 hours sort of going around and gathering stuff before it hits nighttime, because it's, what is it, 4-ish o'clock. So yeah, it'll be about 8 by the time you get done.
Unless the sky has anything to say about it.
Smiles.
Okay, so that's what, like 2 survival, 2 athletics?
Yeah, up to you how you want to split it up.
I imagine something like that would make sense. Because he can also carry stuff in his backpack, so I imagine foodstuffs he can probably fit in his bag and just carry around logs and branches. Okay, I'll give you athletics. Nice.
Ah.
Ooh.
Big rolls for athletics.
Damn good.
and survival. Oh my
Dude.
god.
Okay.
Holy.
God.
Where were those earlier?
This is... I'll take those. I'll take those rolls.
So, holy shit. Ortix, you managed to find in your travels around the plains a young tree. It's not huge or anything, but you think that it would be perfect for sort of what you're doing. And with this, I imagine it's like the like fire, what is it called? Your like fire strikes?
Yeah, flashing spark.
Yeah, with a couple flashing sparks towards like the base of the tree, you manage to strike it down and are able to carry it back, along with other wood and other materials that you find, such as stones, as I mentioned before. There are quite a bit of those sort of around. So over the next the first 2 hours you spend bringing back a sizable amount of materials. The critical success is going to bring back two bulk worth of materials, we'll say, and then the normal success is going to bring back 1. And we'll get into using those soon. Yeah, we'll get into using those soon. So we have 3 total so far. Let's go on to the survival stuff. I will give you, on top of a day's worth of rations for the group plus Aaron, I will give you a special ingredient. As you are wandering around and you happen upon some rare herbs, and clocking them at first, you're like, I don't know, I don't recognize these. But with some testing and sort of looking at local wildlife come by and eat them willingly, you think that they will more than likely be safe for consumption for the party.
Yeah, I'll go searching for it, and everybody else can figure out how they're rolling for their stuff.
Okay. Azadan.
After that performance, I feel like Ezra just be carrying back the stuff that like they picked up. I don't think they're gonna do that as well. Don't roll a survival like glacial, I guess.
With sort of all of you get 4 rolls. With sort of all of these, I'll let you roll both for Azadan and Glacial and take whatever is highest. So you can roll for both. Whew.
Nice.
First one you get a crit.
Each.
It's 2 each. Like I said, you can do so that would be 2 time segments.
Yeah.
So the first one you get a crit, and I will give you the same, as you also find some special ingredients along the way. Holy net 20s. The second ones will not be successful, but you do manage to find also a special ingredient as well. I will add that to your inventory. And that is 2 normal successes. So plenty of food gathered between Ortix and Azadan as you manage to bring back 3 days worth of rations for the group on top of that special ingredient. The group is covered on rations for this little camp out here. Soba, is there anything that you are going to be doing in these next 4 hours, or are you being chillin'?
He's just using all of his energy to relax and watch the horizon for baddies.
Cool.
Using energy to relax sounds so paradox.
His entire lower half is curled up into a sofa-like position for his upper half to lounge upon.
You are just not chilling like him. You don't get it.
I'll count this for
Vortex is busy hauling ass right now.
for the sake of mechanically. I will call this scouting. So you get the +1 to initiative to the party for this, for when combat will happen. Thinnis.
Yep.
Getting to you, things will be an ounce different. You have 3 bulk of materials to work with. You can use these to patch up the place, or make barricades, or even help with Aranerd if you want to. Rather than, each time you try to use one of these, if you fail, it will not waste the material. It'll simply waste time. If you succeed, you will make whatever you are trying to do, and if you critically succeed, you will do it very well. Essentially being able to do more with less. Make a bigger barricade, help Aranerd more, and Aranerd, Lamau. Whoops.
Yeah, that's what I heard the first time.
If you critically fail, you will ruin the materials. So, what would you like to do? You have 4 hours here.
For example, if I'm gonna barricade this kind of opening I'm at, is that gonna take 2 bulk because it's 2 spaces?
I would say it's 1.
That will be my first attempt, is I'm gonna try and kind of barricade this opening up right here.
Cool. You can give me a crafting check for that.
Nice.
An 18. That is successful. So we'll keep that in mind, and I'll use
Drawing tool.
Drawing tool. You're so right. You're so real for that.
Just keep it simple.
I will do this and say this here is walled off now. Do some adjustments for me, and I will edit the map later. That is 1 hour and 1 material used. What would you like to do next?
I would like to now barricade the top wall.
The northern wall? Alrighty. Yeah. Give me that crafting check. 22! Nice. Success!
And I'm going to use the last bulk to help Aranern out on the pulley.
Cool. Bring some of the materials from Ortix and then walk up to Aranern as they quietly are sort of working away at the gearbox. That's not quite right. Here, let me handle this, and they keep working. You waste some time, but the materials are still intact. You have 1 more time segment here. And you do, I will say, also, I forgot to mention this for the other 2, but since this is pretty much the last thing we're doing today, you do have a hero point that you can spend on this sort of stuff. Because you get 1 hero point back at the start of sessions.
I have 2 that I'm still sitting on.
I mean, if it's the end, I might as well, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Swish! Cool. With that then, as Aranern mentions, and sort of shows you what they're doing, you study what they're doing for a small amount of time as they fix these little gears, and you go, I think I got it. and you manage to help them out on the other side of the gearbox for the third hour, reducing the time by a bit. I will crunch those actual numbers later, but you do cut down the 2-day time by a couple hours.
I think during that third hour, I'm also going to kind of not really make eye contact with Aaron because we're like working on kind of opposite sides of the box here. But I think in Gnomish, I'm going to ask if Aaron is feeling okay.
You can't see them, but they, like, you hear them stop working for a second. And in Gnomish, back to you, they say, yes, I am all right. I've certainly been better, but this adventure so far has been thrilling, to say the least.
I hear ya. I'm very much not used to this.
A chuckle from the other side of the box. I have done a lot of adventuring over the years that I've been alive, but seeing that I have, well, wound up how I am now, I figured something like the Hollow, the sounds of it. What's more thrilling than a trip down to inevitable doom and being able to see whatever sights I can see along the way? Feeling the air get tense, or more so quiet after that, they quickly speak up. It's like, of course I get to help folks like yourself and others along the way as well, and that is also quite fulfilling. I'm glad that I can use my expertise down here in ways that others may not.
I think we're really lucky to have met you.
Another quick pause in their work, and I'm glad I met your group as well.
Thinis is going to like kind of reach around the gearbox, still not even making eye contact with Aaron, but just raising a fist to fist bump.
You feel the small gnomish fist reach out around the box to fist bump you.
And then I just go back to work.
Hell yeah.